Hello everyone, today is April 4th, 2026 and my name is Oseni Abiodun Ramon. I was thinking about the geopolitics and the problem the US and Israel attacks on Iran has created for the global system as a whole. The price of everything has increased, especially the fuel, which is the petrol and other products related because of the close of the Strait of Hormuz by Iran. So I think, we can be talking about the problems, strategies, and other things. The main reason why I'm doing this video is to provide the logical solutions to the problem. So what do I mean by providing the logical solutions to the problem? Is that a way out, a kind of solutions that is going to be acceptable to both Iran, Israel, and the United States. So looking at things, a lot of commentators, political scientists, and analysts have concluded that the President Trump administrations have no strategy in going to the war. Yes. But what is strategy? Sometimes strategies may be relative. Why did I say that? Because, the ongoing war, let's say, can be divided into 4 segments. First one and the second one was during President Biden administrations. So Biden were able to avert going into war with Iran by just trying to play a defensive role, which is the war that Iran tied to Promise 1 and Promise 2. Then during the President Trump second coming, so 3 and 4, President Trump were able to just attack Iran once with the B2 spirit, and that was the end of it, ceasefire. But this time around, Iran said there is not going to be ceasefire, that they need a kind of comprehensive way to end the war, which is understandable because they don't want a kind of situation whereby after 6, 7, 8 months, Israel and Iran will still come. Israel and United States will still come back to attack Iran. So they want to put an end to it. Anyway, when somebody is already inside a swimming pool, there's no need to be thinking about I'm cold anymore because the country has been attacked, the leader has been killed. So they feel this is the way to end it by going all the way in and see the end of the matter. So, but my own solutions, which I think is very reasonable, is that there should be a kind of reintroductions of JCPOA or introduction of JCPOA with a little adjustment. Because it may be difficult for Iran to accept the JCPOA because as the war is going now, I think they think they have a kind of upper hand. So if somebody is having an upper hand or they think the war is going along with their objectives, so there is no need to conceal that it's going to be so low or like previous agreement. So, but I think the issue of President Trump in the first instance, pulling away from JCPOA was a strategic mistake. They could have just maintained the JCPOA and just do some little adjustment to it. It will have saved all this drama. But now that issue has been this way, I think there is need to reintroduce the JCPOA with a little adjustment. Many people may not understand what JCPOA means. It's Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, in which the Big Five, which is United States, China, Russia, Britain, and France, plus 1, and Germany, they came together to have a kind of a comprehensive plan to contain Iran from having nuclear weapons, and they also do it along with Iran not having a nuclear power plus some sanction reliefs. That was done in 2015 during the President Obama's administrations. and that was able to manage the situation. But when President Trump came in the first administration, so he pulled out from the JCPOA, and that is what brought us to where we are now. And you can't blame President Trump alone, because when Joe Biden came in as a president, he could have foreseen this and just reintroduced the JCPOA, but he failed to do that also. But I think the only solutions and the only way out is to try to introduce or to reintroduce JCPOA with a little adjustment. Because the way the war is going, it is obvious that Israel does not really want hand to the war. Maybe it doesn't go as planned. Like when in the first place we are hearing the regime change, but now regime change is not possible. So, and the United States does not want to involve in forever war. So, learning from the issue of the war between Afghanistan after 20 years of fighting in Afghanistan, fighting the Taliban, so we end up leaving the country again for Taliban. So, wasting of time, wasting of money, wasting of resources, giving resources to military industrial complex. At the same time, in Libya, in Syria and other places, so it's just, so we need to focus. Like when President Trump campaigned, he said that we need to focus at home. We need to, we need to look inward, American first. But now, the approval rate is getting low because the campaign promise is now different from, the reality that, Americans were seeing. So I think the best solutions and the only way out to this quagmire is that the JCPOA should be reintroduced with a little adjustment. So to save the global system, to save global recession or depressions. So it is important to really re-echo that this JCPOA withdrawal from President Trump is a very big strategic mistake in the first place. So, and the issue, we sometimes, when ego comes in any situation, it makes situation to be difficult. So I think there is nothing wrong. If you don't know where you are going, you should know where you are coming from. If this problem is going this way, we should try to reintroduce the JCPOA, maybe with a little adjustment. The problem is going to be, the war is going to be end. Thank you.